We are finally making glass, ladies and gentlemen, and I have a lot more planned today. Welcome back to Captain of Industry, update 2 that was just released in April 2024. We're playing a completely custom map that I created, which is supposed to be Paris. You know, you have Ile de la Cité there, Ile Saint-Louis, and the two reefs, one on each side, basically. We have made a lot of great progress in terraforming and in many other things in the previous episodes, so don't hesitate to check in the video description below. And as always, we have a problem, right? We start with the problem, low food supply. It's actually the vegetables that are quite low. Even if I did upgrade one of my farms from irrigated farms to greenhouse level 1. You can see it's a greenhouse, now it's protected from the elements. So we're gonna talk about this, but before, as I said, we're making glass. That was quite important, right? We wanted to make glass for our vehicles level 2, but actually it's also for many other things. So here is my glass production. It's not the most efficient because I don't think we're gonna keep it for too long, but it is there. We have built 2 out of 4. Basically, it's actually a simple one in the sense that you have one furnace and one building after. The furnace, as always, you have 2 recipes. One is with the sort of recyclable. Instead of iron scrap, it's broken glass in this case, and coal. And then the second is what's called glass mix with coal. So we're gonna talk about this glass mix, of course, but then it goes into molten glass and some exhaust and some slag, right? So that's an easy one in a sense. And then this molten glass goes into this glass maker over here. It's 24, so that's easy. It goes into 1, it makes some glass and a bit more slag actually. So instead of sending the slag back this way, today we're actually sending it in the front because we also need to take care of this slag here. So it goes there and all the way over here, to be taken out. Oh, I see mine control has no available, so let's just add a few more. Obviously, every few minutes you need to do this until we get into a full 100% autonomous island. We're not there yet, but we will get there. So anyway, we're making this glass and this slag, right? The glass goes all the way over here to be, next to all of my other things, so that then it can be delivered here onto the belt, onto the bus, right? It goes here, and with this we're making some vehicle parts level 2, and with this we can transform some of our vehicles, so all good there. But yeah, as I was saying, that's what's happening over here. Now interestingly, the exhaust, we are not just sending it into the atmosphere creating pollution, because my pollution was starting to be high. We see air pollution 7, it was starting to be quite high. So instead we have all of these exhaust that's going to this pipe, and then it's going into this new building, the exhaust scrubber. We have done obviously quite a bit of research since the last few episodes. So you can see over here we have the wastewater treatment, for example, and we have the exhaust filtration over here. So this exhaust is gonna take exhaust and a bit of water and make sulfur and dioxide carbine and steam low. Now the steam low is going here directly. Oh, that's a bit of I overspent, let's say. It's a pipe 2 for only 24. But anyway, it goes into this cooling tower. That's also a new building we just got to transform into water. This way, basically what's happening is I need to deliver less water, right? There's water for free in a sense. So then we have the carbon dioxide. For now I'm sending it into the atmosphere, so this is indeed creating some pollution, but not that much, to be honest, and we're going to be able to use it in the future. And then some sulfur. What I'm doing is I'm sending the sulfur here because we do need to use sulfur for a couple of things, and then if it's full then it can go here. So that's why we have this balancer with the priority this side. So yeah, that's where we're having a lot less pollution from this than from the other ones over here. But as you hopefully remember, we have this new thing, glass mix, right? So at level 0 I'm sending the coal, and then at level 1 we have this balancer between the broken glass and this glass mix. The priority is obviously on the glass. And then this glass mix is coming from over here. We have those 2 mixers. They're taking sand, limestone, salt to make this glass mix. So if you only use those 3 things, you're gonna make 36 out of 44 of sand. But if you add a bit more acid, then you're gonna make 48. So you're not gonna lose any sand in a sense. So that's a pretty good one. We have everything over here, right? We have the sand, limestone, the salt, and then the acid that's over here. So with this, again, it's pretty simple. Basically, salt at level 0, limestone at level 1, sand level 2, and we have the acid at level 3. So pretty compact, but again, not perfect. I think we can do better. It was also because we had this strange thing over here with the waste sorting plant. I wanted to make sure that we use this space over here. So that's the glass making. Now this glass making, when it's working right now, you can see, basically I'm full on glass, so it's not really working. When all of this was working, I actually needed more energy than in the past. So I had to also restart this one. Now we're actually at the point where I think we can actually pause them again, to be honest. So let's pause them here. Good. To use a bit less of coal. The other thing we did needed was salt. We hadn't really started to make salt. Now there's a couple of ways to make salt, but the easiest is over here. You have basically one seawater pump. You can put it anywhere as long as you have a bit of water. By the way, what you can even do is I could close this and this would stay water. I could put a pump there, it will still work. It's not 100% realistic, but yeah, you can even have lakes if you want. So you have one pump, it's taking a bit of seawater, then you send it to an evaporation pump. Now we have 2, we have one that's heated, one that's not heated. The heated one, will take some energy, a bit more people and a bit more maintenance, but it will have basically a production that is double. So you decide, do you have energy or not? If you have energy, then just use this one. If you have no energy and a lot of space, then you can use the normal one. So we do the first recipe is to transform seawater into brine. And then the second is to transform brine into salt. And then we have our salt. Perfect. In the future, I'll show you other ways to do salt because there's definitely a couple in terms of also, where do you integrate this? But it is now working. So that's sending, with the truck over here. Then second thing I wanted to show you in this episode is our ship is getting more and more upgraded. It's not finished, but I have done already 2 upgrades. We have ship engine level 2 and ship bridge level 2. Now we can do a couple more again. We can do the gun level 3, and you can see that all of those upgrades, they usually take the same thing. A couple of mechanical parts, a couple of electronics, and before it was iron, now it's always steel. It was the same for this one. So we're going to do this. This is going to improve our skills. We're going to be able to, beat more pirates. We're also going to be able to go further into the map, right? So we're going to want to do this. It will also take more crew. I think before the upgrade, I was at like 35. Now I'm already at 60. It's going to continue to upgrade. So we're going to need more people, that's for sure. Next is, you can see that the coal mine that was over here is really starting to get empty. Right, we have, if you look over here, not so much coal left underground. I've had to go pretty deep, right? So we used to only start the ramp there. Now the ramp is starting even there, and it's going very, very far. We also have destroyed the inner wall, right? I destroyed the inner wall, so a lot of things fell. This is also why I built another wall there, because this was at risk at falling, but so far still hasn't. And then the other thing that I did is now, we have the ramp that's going there, but in the bottom, we're starting to dig completely, flat. So this way I'm trying to get, as much as the coal as we can. We're going to try to get, maybe not all, but almost all. And therefore I have also, the ship is already improved. That's great. So let's do also the second gun right away. But more importantly, as I was saying, we need to prepare for this coal to be empty. We do have this other coal mine there, which is, by the way, a gigantic one, but it's really underground. So that's going to be a challenge. So what I did is I prepared over here some coal from the map, right? We had found the coal mine over here. I have upgraded it, so it's now at level 4. And actually right now I should pause it. I'm using people and Unity for nothing, sorry. Because I paused it, but it's ready, right? It's ready to go. We have over here also the cargo depot. We have some reserves of fuel, and we even made this full, right? It's full of coal, so we have some reserves of coal when needed. Another tower, it's over here. And actually that leads me to nicely to the next piece. Is we've started to terraform this piece a lot, right? I mean, the bridge over here is finished, and look at all of this. I mean, this used to be water all the way over here. This used to be not at level 2 everywhere. Now it's all looking nice and flat. We're working on this piece over here. Actually, it seems that, yeah, it was finished. So let's expand, sorry, that area. No. Yeah, okay. So, slowly but surely I'm making it as flat as possible. I think we're gonna have to also destroy this mountain, which probably means making a I don't know if maybe we're gonna make a mountain of copper over here, maybe. What is that? I don't remember. Oh, it's nothing. Okay, it's just there's no resource. Okay, that's interesting. That could be a swimming pool, I feel. But yeah, we're getting very flat, and so in the next episode I think we can start our farming over here. Alright, we don't have enough space there. I want to expand my city over here, and as you saw, my production of food is not getting enough, so we're gonna use this whole space for farming. This will also enable us, by the way, to make some of the new farms. We have access to the corn now, the wheat to make bread, right, soybean to make tofu, and we even have chicken unlocked, if I remember correctly. So we can make a lot more food in our next episode. Talking about food and farms, as I said at the beginning of the episode, we have also unlocked the greenhouse. The greenhouse is a bit similar to the upgrade from farm to irrigated farm. Basically, the idea is, and of course it costs money, sorry, like it costs 70 red parts, 30 steel, and 320 of this glass. So that's why also you definitely want reserves of glass. But as I was saying, it's a bit the same as before, meaning it's going to produce more, right? But it's also taking more people, more water, more everything. So if you look at this one, for example, right, the irrigating farm, we're talking about 12 people that are going to make 5.4 potatoes and 5.6 of vegetables. Now we have 18 people, and they're going to make 6.3 and 6.5. So it's just a slight upgrade, to be honest. And the slight upgrade also costs at a cost of water. This one is basically 34 water per minute versus this one is 38. Now the reason also this is not such a big jump is because this requires basically more fertility. So what it means is that if I don't give fertilizer, the increase is not huge, right? We are talking 5.4 to move to 6.3. But if I were to put, full target of soil fertility, meaning we're gonna put a lot of fertilizer, then you can see that this jumps to 14.6 and 15. Versus in the case of the irrigated farm, even if I were to give like tons of fertilizer, this will only go to 12. Right? So there's definitely an increase at this point. But we haven't started fertilizer yet, so that doesn't matter. So anyway, like similar to many other things in the game, the reality is therefore that basically if you have a lot of space, it's almost better to put a lot of those farms like this, because it's gonna take you less people for the same production. But if you don't have a lot of space, which is the case, this game is based on space most of the time, you're gonna want at some point to move to a greenhouse, and then greenhouse level 2 to be able to really produce enough. And then, we're gonna want to put fertilizer and all those type of things. And then last but not least, we have made a lot of great progress in terms of moving all of our vehicles from level 1 to level 2. As you can see, we have now 93 level 2 trucks. We only have 16 level 1, so we still have a few, but we're almost there. And similarly for our excavators, we have 15 level 2 and only 7 level 1. So we're gonna get there pretty soon. And again, remember you can also click over here to find them easily, so that then, I can tell them to go get yourself upgraded. It's easy to, when you don't know where the last ones are, you can just do like this to find them. So yeah, hopefully, soon this mine is gonna be finished. we're going to probably fill this whole space back up with, you know, rocks and soil, so that then we can expand and make a gigantic city over here. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you have any questions, thoughts, or requests. As I said, in the next episode, definitely want to have a major farming, you know, economy over here, makes also chicken and those type of things. We're gonna want to expand our population, and soon I also want to go into some of the more advanced diesel, because we have unlocked naphtha, reforming, etc. So there's definitely some cool things there too. Please smash the like button, and I hope to see you next time.